All right, guys, we're back with episode number 3.
Yeah, just Diesel as always, James the show, and we're just gonna get right into it. So it's a lot of shit that's happened, especially like yesterday.
Yes.
So I want to get Bronny out the way first. First of all, LeBron James, congratulations. That's an unbelievable achievement that you did.
No take away from him at all.
Of what he's been, of what he's doing, what he's been doing for almost 20 years is absolutely unprecedented. He's like the fucking Tom Brady of the NBA. People argue about, well, yes, the game has changed, the rules have changed, defensive schemes have changed, but to still be able to operate at that level, at that age, in this stage of his career, I gotta give respect to that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Man's amazing. I gotta say, I've never been a big fan of him, but you gotta give credit where credit is due.
Exactly.
I mean, he stuck with it. I mean, the man played 20 years. I mean, there's a lot of people, I gotta say, that played probably that long, but they never broken that. They've never broken that. And I will give him his credit. He could put the ball in the basket. The only thing I gotta debunk is he broke it, but he still lost the game.
Yeah.
And that's like, for me, it's like it kind of sours it. Because you're supposed to come away with that win. He was just supposed to go out there and just dominate.
Yeah, and he did. He dominated for 3 quarters. At
like,
one point, I said, "Oh shit, he's about to get 50."
Yeah, I thought he was.
Because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one of the GOATs, are sitting in the crowd. So I'm like, "Oh, he's gonna put on the show," and he was. He was doing whatever he wanted to do.
The tickets were like almost $100,000.
Oh, it was ridiculous.
Like that's like, come on,
it's history.
Dude, you could have literally just went out there and just destroyed him.
And he did. He was.
But he didn't play the whole 4th quarter just about.
But he said, I think it was the ankle hurting.
Oh, come on.
It's like, come on. And then what even kind of confused me, Russell brought it within 3. And let me hobble out here real quick, get the win, and then that achievement would have been so much greater. But it's, it is what it is. I think it's no secret. He's stat chasing now.
Yeah, because, I mean, don't get me wrong. He's one of the greats. He'd be on the Mount Rushmore. He'd be up there. He's one of the
LeBron
greats.
James is top 3.
I still don't ever think. You still 3. Cannot compare him to Jordan. That is not a fair comparison. That's not fair.
Not to cut you off, but the Jordan debate is simple as this. You can compare bodies and styles and charisma and talent pool and who is this. At the end of the day, Mike is 6-0 in the finals and never went to a 7th game in the finals. 6-0, and LeBron is like
4-6. LeBron has as many losses in the finals as Jordan has wins.
There you go.
So it's like,
there you go.
Not to mention the killer instincts.
I'll lean up off that. LeBron he don't have to do that. He's a pass first kind of guy. Take over. But I'm saying NBA Finals, jewelry, hardware. That's what makes you that.
Actually, we had this conversation earlier with one of my brothers. He said he recognizes Bill Russell as the greatest. And I was like, I can't really take Bill Russell because him and Wilt were like men amongst boys.
Yeah. But again,
they dominated everything.
He's an 11-time champion.
And don't get me wrong, it's not taken away from him.
But I get what you're saying with the era.
I mean, that's just like Dwight Howard going over to China and dominating all the short people.
And to that big dude hemmed his ass up. You see that?
No, I did not see that.
Big dude.
I'm going to watch it now.
Big dude hemmed his ass up and kind of humbled him real quick. This motherfucker was like 7 forever.
He needed that.
So again, but like you said, we could discuss errors. We could discuss.
But we know. But honestly, like they said, LeBron's team wasn't always the best of his era. He had to run through Kobe, who had a very good team. He had to run through the Bucks. He had to run through Curry and the Golden State Warriors. You knew when Jordan was in the league in the 90s, the Bulls was the best team in the league.
Yeah, but look at who Mike had to go through.
He had to go
through Detroit.
He had to go through Boston. He had to
go through the Knicks,
the Magic,
the
Jazz,
the Lakers, Portland, and Reggie Miller, Indiana. I mean, there was fighters every night.
And they still sit here and try to say he didn't have a lot of competition. Jordan had plenty.
That was the most, Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson. young Glenn Rice, Alonzo Mourning, Shaquille O'Neal. Then he took a break and came back, and then he did the Jason Kidds, the young Kobe's, the Tracy McGrady's. I mean, this guy
was still stopping all-stars from getting rings. Literally, he was stopping.
He stole 2 from Utah, back to back.
Literally, if they hadn't broke that team up, they would have been champions all the way up until what 2000.
If Mike wouldn't have left, they would have won those 2 years.
Yeah, easily. They would have won the next 2 years after that because Kobe wasn't up to speed yet. Kobe wasn't. He wasn't that killer he became.
And that's true. But not only that, Michael. And again, for me, my knowledge of understanding, I watched more of Mike the second go around. I was a kid when he was the first three-peat, but the second three-peat I watched. And even in his older age, you can see how good he was. But let's talk about a guy that kind of people are, I feel like, not forgetting about, but they not putting him in that upper echelon. Kobe was different.
Yes, he was.
Kobe was, now, if you want to throw a comparison, Kobe is easily right there with Mike because Kobe, and maybe even a little bit more psychotic with his Mamba mentality
because he was a killer.
He was different. Like Kobe
was a killer.
Is say what you want. Kobe played defense in the All-Star game.
And that's the thing.
He's always
made LeBron quit a few times.
Yeah,
defending him. And this is Kobe, who's very underrated as a defender. He got
extremely.
He got after you.
Extremely.
And
I'm glad you said.
Never talk about his defense.
That was one famous clip where he met a Kyrie Irving before he got to the league. He said, "Yeah, I do you in." Kobe like, "All right, bet." They had that, and Kobe moved him and one-on-one shut him down. This is a young Kyrie flying all over. Kobe's right there.
Now, not to mention, Kobe still had the size on him too.
And but that speed, he was right with him.
That's the thing.
Woo!
He was a young kid. This is just like Jordan and Jamal Crawford.
Hmm?
He was talk crazy to Jordan. Jordan bet him. I think he lost his car to Jordan.
Hmm?
Don't do that. I mean, a lot of them done that. They came messing with Jordan while he was just sitting on the sideline. And when he first bought when they were known as Bobcats, he said literally his 50s, he still could have outplayed damn near everybody on the team. That's not a good thing. That is great. Like I told you, I don't take away from LeBron's greatness. He's got a lot of great stats because he does what he does. I mean, I will give him his credit. I just don't think he's still not better than Mike and Kobe.
No, like I said, number 3 all day. My top 3 was Michael, Kobe, and I will say LeBron because I've never seen.
I can give LeBron,
because what is remarkable about LeBron is I've never seen a guy at his size
move as fast,
be as quick and explosive, but still as delicate and finesse.
Because he's a freak of nature.
He's a linebacker out there doing that shit.
I mean, that's Zion before Zion came in.
I mean, if you go back, I tell everybody, go back and look at LeBron when he was in Miami. He was huge.
Yes, he was a damn tank.
And he was flying down the court.
And this is a dude who's running as fast as D Rose. And
yes, and that's the only guy he couldn't catch. Because Derek at that point was the Flash for real. No disrespect, Wade, but that was Rose.
That dude could move. This is a dude who beat both of them. So you did, like LeBron was just that dude that he could guard some smaller centers because they just couldn't physically dominate. Like Noah was bigger than him, but he was stronger than Noah easily. He could just push Noah right up out of there. And Joakim was a dog. Y'all know he played with heart. He was there, but LeBron was like, don't bring it in there.
So we just wanted to take that moment just to give that little segment about LeBron, but we got to get into Cody and Paul. Monday Night Raw.
That was probably one of the greatest segments in a long time. Cody is a set man.
You know, I remember when Cody Rhodes first got there.
Me too.
And you're like, this guy is going to be a jobber within a. And then you saw what he got with Ted DiBiase. You're like, okay, y'all got something here. Then Orton took a moment with Legacy, which is a very underrated faction.
Yes. It's like they say, you wasn't evil until you was 2009, Randy Orton.
That was a different kind of Randy.
That mug did not care.
And that was probably his best run.
And he really helped you. Like, I mean, you don't hear many good stories about Randy, but Cody tells a lot of good stories about him. How he was a good mentor, he helped him out, and it's like now for him to be the American Nightmare, which I think is great. He comes out, he's taking the legacy, he's passing the torch from his father. And I like when they talked about it, I never knew that in 2000 they had went broke. And Paul Heyman had, he called up Dusty and said, "Hey, I'll pay you this. I just need you to show up."
Yeah, because WCW fired him.
But how could you fire somebody with his charisma, his mic skills?
The company was made by AOL, Time Warner. They were going through changes and shit like that. And they really was adding, and also Russo was pushing the younger talent. He didn't really like the older talent.
But even then, he was one of the. He was that guy. I've been watching a lot of his promos recently, and it's like, wow.
Dusty gets it. He's a people's guy. He gets it. He's always there. That's why I said. That's why you look at Cody, and I see so much of his father in him.
He really embodies what his father was. They got that list. The only thing I used to love about his father had that down south accent. So when he used to talk, he just knew how to.
He wobble at him. He wobble at him.
If you ever look up an interview, Paul Heyman was talking about him. Paul Heyman did his voice to a T. Sounded just like him. I'm
Paul is very good at that. Paul can capture voices.
I mean, people can say he's a slime ball, he's all of this stuff, but people really don't appreciate who Paul Heyman is.
Well, no, I kind of disagree with that. I think people.
I've heard a lot of
people. Well, of course, wrestlers that work for him under the day. He admitted he did some bad.
But he was a young dude.
Yeah, and he was just trying to make it, and he created the Attitude Era. That was him.
Not to mention, think about it. He got Brock over, and Brock was not a talker when he came in. But he got Brock over, and then I was just screaming at somebody for years to say, "Hey, Reigns can't talk. Give him the Heyman." They finally gave him the Heyman, and look at him now.
And now Heyman, because Heyman brings the best out of you. If you allow Heyman to do that,
just let him operate.
If you look at the confidence of Jay and Jimmy,
like you can see
on the promos. You wouldn't pay them to do a promo
not like that
back in the day. Dude. But that's Heyman and Sammy giving them the encouragement.
We do got to touch on Sammy.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely talk.
Cody saying, you know what? Hey, go kick his ass. That says a lot too.
But that's the veteranship of Cody knowing, like, okay,
I know I got the spot at WrestleMania,
but I don't want the fans to turn on him. I've seen this happen.
Yeah, I don't want
so
that.
Let me position it so
you protect. I'm protecting himself.
I'm respecting Sammy. But I don't care. At the end of the day, my destiny is the title. Yeah. So he's not saying I don't give a damn who's there. But my destiny is the title.
So if it's me versus Sammy, we gonna get it on.
We gonna get it on. Or if it's me versus the Tribal Chief, we gonna get it on.
That's it.
But I liked how Heyman came out there and just say, "Hey, yeah, you got the Sammy thing, but wait a minute, we forgot to congratulate you," which gives them more heat. Like they're just totally looking past Sammy.
Yep.
Which is great because the promo made me forget about Sammy because I'm like, I got intrigued
because Paul is the evil guy, so he's going to look past Sammy. He's nothing to Roman. While you have Cody, now good guys are good guys and bad guys are bad guys. You don't see that much anymore. Like for a long time we would talk about who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. Because all the bad guys were being cheered and all the good guys was like, what the hell? Like they just slipping on banana peels all the time. They just stupid.
But Roman is the only bad guy that has won clean many times. Yes, Usos will come out and help with the big threats.
Yep.
Yeah, they'll come out and give some assistance. But if it's anybody like I said,
Cesaro
or Kevin Owens, he beat him clean. He beat the shit out of him, but he beat him clean.
But remember, the first few times they went at it, he did. But I was just talking about this at the Royal Rumble. He got dominant win. By himself, no help from the Usos, no help from anybody else.
But the reason why he did that was because he worked back. He said, okay, I can beat him. I beat him this many times. He's not a threat. And he really didn't need Sammy's help. He just wanted to see what he'd do.
Yep.
And the hesitations and shit of Sammy, he was done. Like I said, I knew, and I gotta, we gotta talk about Roman's facials are amazing.
They mean the hell out
of him. He does not get any respect for his facials.
They mean the hell out of him. When he got hit in the back with that chair, that was like he having flashbacks to when Seth did to the Shield. Like my man got PTSD. It was everything.
It was that too, but the facial to where he actually was like, Sammy, give me the chair. And Sammy like, you told me not to do nothing. He's like, give me the chair. And then when Sammy hesitated and the look Roman gave him, like, okay. And I'm like, Sammy, you're done. I say you're done. No matter what happens now, you're done.
When he started pushing him in the face and just pushing him
I was like, yeah, this is getting real. And that's just beautiful storytelling.
That was like the Royal Rumble wasn't what I expected, but it
told the stories.
Because now they're talking about Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins, which I called.
That's gonna be amazing.
Of course, they're gonna. I know they're gonna.
That's gonna steal the show. That's right here. If that happens, they steal the show.
We actually finally about to get Rey Mysterio versus Dominic.
That's true.
They're talking about that, and it's like I just want to see Rey go out there and beat the hell out of him. Like literally humble him. Beat him so badly, he goes back to the performance center to go work on himself.
But Dominic's gonna win. Dominic needs to win.
I just want to see his father whoop his ass. Just
you know. I think quite the contrary. I think if you're telling a story, I feel like this is a situation where Dominic needs a decisive win. He needs a finisher. He needs to come up with a strong finisher of his own.
We don't know what it is because it ain't Frost Blast.
Hopefully. And I'm pretty sure him and his father are working on the story because Ray's retiring. His body is done.
Ray didn't been
his body's done. And I think he needs to go out there, and I think he needs to just not dominate his father, but be like, the guard has changed.
Yes, it has. I mean, he still shits in the ring.
Or you could do where they have this match, and you sit here and you have him lose, and Dominic's looking there, and he goes to his son, he goes to his dad. And I think you flip it back. You can flip him back. He's a super face, but you got to make sure Dominic put on a performance to where he makes you believe. Because, like you say, Rhea's getting ready for bigger, better things.
We know
the Judgment Day is dying, and Edge made a point to say, "No, this shit's dying."
Because when you look at it, all of them are. 2 of them, 3 of them are great singles competitors.
Damian Priest, I am ready for him. Yes. Turn him loose.
I want him to be a world champion.
Can we please? Like, I love his look. I love his demeanor. I love his wrestling. He has a motor. He could go every night, go all day.
He's got a great finisher.
He's like he does not need to be in a group.
No,
Damian Priest doesn't need to be in a group.
If he's in a group, he's the leader.
Period.
He's the leader if he's in a group. But literally, what did you think about JBL dropping Corbin? Great. I like it for one reason. Please let him go back to being a lone wolf. That was probably his only gimmick that actually worked. I hate this happy Corbin crowd.
First of all, I don't know why they dug JBL up to that shit. Anyway, I don't get it.
If you want to call somebody a wrestling guy, go look up Gunther. That's a modern. That's a modern day.
It seemed like they tried to put him as
the JBL alike, and
it just did not work.
It's not organic.
It's not, and that's not his gimmick. And not like you said, I liked him more as a bruiser,
the lone wolf, the dude who just beat the hell.
Yes,
he has a protected finisher. Only one person has ever kicked out of the end of days. One, and excuse me, that was last year at WrestleMania for Drew McIntyre.
Yes. And that would made sense for a guy like Drew.
Drew can do it. It meant something. Nobody else kicks out of it.
Nobody.
So why the hell is he? Like, I hope Trips do him service.
Yeah, I just don't see. I think you can't rehab Corbin. I think they had too many chances with the King Corbin, and then he went to the Happy Corbin. You know, it's like they.
I think they really had something when he was broke. They really had something.
Yeah, but you could have stayed with that,
and you could have literally let him slow burn into a good guy.
Yes,
it humbled him not to have it, and that works. But why? Like, I don't get it.
No, I never understood.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. what else happened? Something else happened on Raw. I was kind of scratching my head.
Bobby.
You know,
Brock has never been better until Cowboy Brock is fucking amazing.
I never thought I'd say the day where Brock Lesnar steals a promo from anybody, and Bobby, that is Bobby's Achilles heel.
He still can't talk.
And I'm like, please, for the love of God, go back to MVP.
Yes, just let
him. And that rumor potential New Hurt business looks sick.
Yeah, if we could get the Street Profits in there, and you have a second mouthpiece in Montez Ford.
All you do is, like you say, put Cedric and Shelton out of there, insert the Street Profits.
But they could keep Shelton and what's the name? You could keep all of them in there. Yeah, but they're not the main focuses anymore.
Yeah, but again, you don't want to ruin it. Like, we don't want the days of DX and fucking corporations. Like, I like it nice and simple. You got and it matches what the Bloodline is doing. You got your tag team champions, which we're breaking up the belts now, so you can easily see a heel Profits, which they need to be a heel. Because both of them can go. Yes. They showed that on Raw.
They both can go.
Great. Dawkins impresses me every fucking time.
He slimmed down.
Man, he impresses me every time.
He got faster. He jumps better. He's just better.
He just looks amazing. Montez is ready, and it's like, you know what? I say before you break him,
let them run a heel.
Let them run a heel tag team. Let them get the belts. Let MVP get them as tag champs. Then you'll have get almost as your solo.
Yeah, just let him stand there. He has to do nothing. And he don't have to wrestle. Just stand there.
And then Bobby's your face. And then you got him. MVP is the
mouthpiece. And again,
they would run Raw.
And if they ever needed to, Montez Ford can easily step in and become a mouthpiece because he has great mic skills. Great mic skills. I was just thinking, Rey Mysterio was a world champion. Why can't we make Montez Ford a world champion? Because the WWE champion looks great on it. As a bad guy,
even as a good guy,
it looks amazing.
He has the build.
And they could literally add Bianca in there if they wanted to.
I'm
could
honestly falling out of Bianca. If she's a heel,
yes, that's what I'm saying. Let her be a bad guy and let her go over there. Because she's getting pushed like Cena.
It's not even that. It's like her. I don't enjoy her matches. She can't talk.
The problem.
We were talking. Me and my cousin was talking about it today, and it was like when you watch her matches. It looks so choreographed,
especially with the Royal Rumble.
And then Alexa's like stiffing her, like, man, wake up!
Like I need you to do this.
Throw me around.
Because even Lacey Evans came out there and said, you know what? Lacey Evans grabbed Zelina, put in that chokehold, and like, why didn't Bianca do this? She could physically just throw her around.
No,
Alexa can take that. She was a bodybuilder, but she could take it.
My cousin made a really good point. She said maybe she's concerned about like hurting them. Maybe like she's not with her strength because we know she's strong. She picked up fucking Otis and ran his ass around the ring
like that.
So we know she's strong. But again, you got to know how to fucking these girls to say, "Hey, throw me, motherfucker, do something."
Because even the KOD looks weak because the way she
changed it a lot.
It's so slow.
Yeah, normally she would just flip you, bam.
Because in NXT, she was killing people. It's just boom.
But that's what they paid for. They want that.
They're taking bumps.
They want their reaction. They want that.
Because the KOD looks so.
Everything she does.
I just wish they'd take the manhandle slam away from Becky. That shit does not look.
She's not big enough.
Yeah, she don't lift her high enough. She's now, if Raquel was doing something like that, I could see that happening. She's tall. She's strong. She can lift that.
Well, speaking of that, what do you think about Lita making an appearance back? What do you think about that?
I mean, it's okay. I mean, I don't have a problem because Lita can still go. Mm-hmm. But then we have the thing, because there's also reports saying that's supposed to lead to Trish Stratus coming back. Yeah. And it's supposed to be them three versus Damage Control at Elimination Chamber. And it's like, that's all good and all, but Damage Control needs to win this match. They don't win enough.
Well, the problem is that the tag team do what Bayley don't. And that's the problem. damage control. Bayley don't get enough wins.
Yes,
your
and
heel has to get wins.
She needs it,
and that's what I do. That's what I feel like they missed the mark in this new era. The heel can cheat, do whatever they got to do, like how you protect your Roman stuff like that. Like, and again, what they're showing now, the storytelling is they're showing Roman vulnerable. Now he's nervous.
Yes,
he's nervous.
He's prone to irritation.
Like, even when they were walking out the Royal Rumble, he looked at Solo and like, we have war now. Like, it's like you can see it. And then the next SmackDown, where's Jay? Everybody see Jay? Go find him. Yep. Find your brother. You don't know where your brother. Now you looking at Jimmy. You don't know where your brother is. Really? You don't know where your brother is? Y'all don't know where y'all brother is? Like, so
where's your brother?
He's getting paranoid
because now he's like, Sammy can ruin us he could ruin us really.
He's in Roman. He's did it all.
Yeah, because now he's really the biggest threat. Now speculation says people think that Jay is gonna turn on Sam.
Now, if you want to stay, all right. So
I don't like that,
but this is how you keep the fans from staying normal. This is how I would book it. And this is how I think they're going to do it. Now, they're going to be in Montreal, the Elimination Chamber. Sammy's going to be a god.
He's going to go nuts.
He's going to be a god.
Yes.
Okay?
That makes sense.
Sammy come out there is going to be amazing fucking.
Oh,
Sammy
you know they're going to
put it one time.
And Roman can go, I don't care what nobody else
Roman gets up for the big.
That dude can really go.
Now, what I think what's going to happen is we're going to see Kevin Owens come out to try to help even the odds. We haven't seen Kevin.
Nope.
He's selling the injuries. Yep. Which is beautiful. Idea that makes sense. He would go home to sell it. And just so happened we're in Montreal.
So
he's going to come in. He's going to be the distraction. 201 is going to happen. They're beating ass. Here comes Jay. Where's Jay going to go? What is Jay going to do? Bam! He super kicks. It might even be like look like he's aiming for Sammy. Sammy kind of ducks out the way. Bam! He hit Jimmy. Oh, he look at it. Solo. Hey, what you doing? So. Sammy, Kevin go behind. Bam! Knock Solo out. So now they're all the commotion. Now in the ring is Roman, Jay, and Sammy. Ref knocked out, of course. The refs don't know what the fuck going on. And Roman is, mother, beep, beep, I'm your beep, beep. He's, all that. Jay is conflicted, looking around. Sammy giving the face like, hey, I always believed in you. It's going to be one of those moments where what Jay got to do. And then, out of nowhere, he's going to hit Sammy. Because blood is thicker than water. And that's why you flip them back, and then they get the heat. So then they go back, or they could come out and say on SmackDown it was all a ruse, it was all this, that, and the other, whatever. But Jay's like, this was an act. They're gonna dress it, but then that's where you get KO, Sammy, be the ones to break that rank.
But see,
take the belt because you can't do it any other way because of the Cody.
Nope. I'm gonna tell you my counter. If Sammy doesn't get the Universal title, I feel like a lot of this is wasted. He's always been a tag team guy. Let him hold one of those big titles. This could be a way of separating it because I know reports said night 1 is supposed to be of WrestleMania. It's supposed to be Reigns versus Sammy for the Universal title. Night 2, Cody versus him for the WWE title. To separate both titles again, if they let him hold it for a month, just let Sammy have that time. I mean, hell, you can let Cody, even if they let KO hold it again. His first title reign was terrible.
That's good. Yeah. So that it can happen, but we have to make sure that if it doesn't happen, and if we get the belt on Sammy, it can't take away from Cody.
Yes,
because Cody, this is the big moment. Like, I don't think they went in here expecting it to be this big, extravagant Sammy's story, and people were gonna get into it because it was really goofy at first.
Yes.
But the storytelling and what these guys was doing, the little subtle things like making them break character, the Usos and all that shit, the crowd they gravitated towards it.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
But that's why I say I still want Sammy to win one of those belts.
I would love to.
He's earned it.
He earned it, but then the problem is, I'm part of me like, so is Cody.
Yeah, but Cody they should both be the people that split those belts.
I get it, but I'm like this too. If it's Sammy, I want Sammy to hold both of them.
No, I honestly don't.
I mean, and I want Cody to work. I won't. I mean, in a perfect, I agree. I would love to see them both have one, but I feel like
we never had a feel good story since Kofi won the title.
Yes, but I think it'll be better. Roman has had a legendary fucking reign, and whoever gets that, whoever breaks that, and I mean, take both them mothers. They're set in stone. So if that's Sammy's thing, yes, I want Sammy to take both.
But that's the whole problem.
And you solidify. Even if Sammy, like you say, hold it for a month and never have it again, he was the man that took both belts from the ultimate, undisputed underdog to do that. Or you go on the other side, the prodigal son took both of the biggest titles in this industry, something that his brother couldn't do and as great as his father couldn't do. He has both. He's the undisputed Universal Championship. None of it. He sets his legacy.
But I wonder if Cody wins both, would he relinquish one of them?
Then that's what you do. I would rather them do that. Like if Sammy gets it, or you know what? Or let's say this. Watch this. Let's say this. Let's say Sammy wins at the Elimination Chamber. Jay, hey, you know what? Boom. Sammy wins. That's the fucking Montreal will fucking explode.
Yes, they're gonna blow a roof off of that place.
And Sammy comes out the next night on Raw, say, "Hey, you know what? We're gonna go back to whatever the fuck. I'm gonna represent SmackDown. I'm gonna take the Universal title. The WWE title is going back to fucking Raw. Okay, let's do that. He separates the titles. Yep. Or wait, watch this. He don't separate the titles. He just come out there, and then Roman come out. I'm talking on fire. Says Roman come out there, say, "Fuck this show. Nobody moving. Nothing stopped. I want my rematch. I want it right now. We don't move. We don't do no camera. I'm not moving. Get Pierce out here." And, he pierced. Come out there. He's like, "I want Sammy right now. I don't care what I got to do." And he gets the belt back. He won it right back. You get Montreal, that feel-good moment. He gets it back.
The only reason I don't want that is because whoever, and I get what you're saying, but I would want, like you said, whoever pins him, I want them to hold that. Because they said, man, whoever hits him.
And that's why it's not Sammy. That's why it's not going to be Sammy. And that's the thing what I'm saying.
See, with Sammy, it's like, if they do set it up there where Cody says, you know what, I'm going to relinquish the Universal title and let it go back to SmackDown.
Which I think that's going to happen whoever wins.
And they have a tournament that goes on.
That's what's going to happen.
Sammy wins.
Then I'm cool with that.
I'm cool with that.
Like, that could be...
You protect Cody, you also protect Sammy.
Yeah. And then you could continue the rivalry between those two because they're both obviously be in the tournament.
Yeah.
Roman's going to be in the tournament. Sammy's going to be in the tournament. And so on and so forth. Maybe Gunther versus KO. Gunther, I love being there.
Don't even get me started.
He's definitely going to be in there.
Braun, that's a sad man.
He proved it.
I want Braun and Ricochet to end the streaks of the Usos.
But if you got KO and intertwined this too, and Sammy got to get some kind of payoff. If it's not the main title, has to do something to diffuse the bloodline. That's what I'm saying. Because that's rumors that's going to be the match at Mania.
Well, see, the only reason
that's what I'm saying. Well, I think Jay is going to turn.
Because even when even when you say Braun is the new Big Show, there's one big difference in him and Big Show. He wins a whole lot more than Big Show did.
Yes.
Big Show was a goofball.
Yes.
When you see Braun, you know you probably get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna hurt you. Big Show was a goofball. They always had him going back and forth, being a good guy, being a bad guy. I think Triple H is gonna do him well just because he lost a lot of weight, looks in great shape. He lost 50 pounds. That dude looks amazing.
So my next question, since you said that, so let's be honest. What are your current review about Bray Wyatt?
It all depends on how this culminates in WrestleMania.
I think I'm tired. First of all, let me tell you why. The thing with Bray is this. The biggest problem with Bray Wyatt, and I had to agree because I listened to Jim Cornette, and he gave it, and he likes Bray. He's team methodical. No, it's not methodical. It's like his feuds never culminated to nothing. He sends you on this long journey,
and then it
gets convoluted to the point where I think he gets confused,
and he doesn't know how to end it.
And he doesn't end it.
And he's very creative, but
he needs guidance.
So that's like as Uncle, like is this what Taker doing behind the scenes, kind of walking them through it? Because we all know Taker knows how to finish any story.
Yes. But if you're gonna when he said okay, that match was a disaster.
I actually liked it.
I mean
it was some things I was kind of like what, but
it didn't do anything for LA Knight.
No,
and that's why I didn't like it. You're in a match like this, and Bray is top tier.
LA Knight should have been elevated.
First of all, and LA Knight did as good as he can.
And he sold himself.
And he did. Yes, he did. Because Bray didn't do no favors for him.
He sold me on that.
He got the fans doing the
Because then it's always the whole thing of you got Uncle Howdy interacting with Alexa, and it's like now you're just going in different ways. Where are you going with this?
That's nice.
Are we getting Wyatt 6? We getting Wyatt 6, which is you, and you got 6 faces of yourself? Because it seems like he merged the Undertaker with Mankind, which I think would be a great character, but are we getting the 6 faces of you? Or are we getting a group of 6 people that you lead? I'm fine with all of that. But let it come to something.
Yeah, and I don't like I really don't care for the no selling of offense. Because you're getting yourself in Fiend territory.
And he said
that didn't work. And he said that didn't work.
He said it wasn't going to work for the simple reason of you lost to Goldberg so easily.
Yeah.
You killed the mystique of him.
Yes.
Like that's fine. This new character, like when Bray is like that, Bray, you shouldn't be having that thing. Your other entity, like Finn Balor does, that should be the no selling. I just like it to where you do remember how Biss and Joseph Park was?
Yes.
That should be how it be.
Yes.
I couldn't stand Joseph Park. Fucking annoyed the hell out of me.
No, but I enjoyed him because it gave another element to the Abyss.
Because Abyss really was a great worker.
Yeah.
He was underrated because it was big. But just have Bray just like Bray can be who he is.
Yes.
But when you need to, unleash that monster that's inside.
And then you're good to go.
Because I still want to see Bray versus the actual Finn Balor, the Demon. I want to see that battle.
Exactly.
I want to see all of that.
And that's another thing too. Is like there's a lot of things he has to do. And like I said, you're building this up, so that means this reveal of who Uncle Howdy is has to be massive.
It has to be strong.
And I feel like it's not going to be. I feel like it's going to be a disappointment.
Like it's going to be both.
It's going to be like, which is not a disappointment, but people kind of understood that. So you got to understand, like
that's not something you lead us on to unveil it.
Exactly.
You would think at the Royal Rumble we figured it out, and then the challenge would be for WrestleMania.
Exactly.
Or an Elimination Chamber. You show us who this is, and then you start working on a payoff at WrestleMania.
Exactly, because it's like 1 minute he's fighting. Basically, this story reminds me of Alice in Wonderland. And Bray is playing the Alice. And Uncle Howdy is the Mad Hatter, which is basically how Mad Hatter was trying to get Alice to just let go and go through it. He's trying to unlock his evil.
And that's like, if Uncle Howdy is supposed to corrupt him and bring it out, that's fine, but let it happen.
And it just has to lead to something. Like, you have to be like, what's the point? What's the aim?
Because you got new music, You got you
No,
have
his theatrics are amazing.
you have great. You still have some of the best mic skills ever. You got great. You got in ring work. He done lost that weight and toned up. Like his upper body is huge.
Oh, he's ridiculous.
Bray look like a truck. You have all the components. Just let it be something.
Yes.
Because I mean, really, honestly, I gotta say this. We know, really, he never fully recovered after John Cena. Cena hurt him.
But okay,
Reigns hurt him.
Now, let's
the Eater Worlds got fucked up badly.
He did.
He could have been better, but they destroyed him.
Now, don't get me wrong. The Cena thing was a botch by Cena. He should have won.
Yes.
The WrestleMania, he should have won that. Would have been a made man.
But he wasn't.
He should not have fought Taker and lost.
No.
That should have never happened.
No. That's not how you pass the torch.
Roman was not good.
Roman hurt him even more. He was a polarizing figure at the time.
The Dean Ambrose feud did good. See, that the problem is
they kept giving him crap to work with.
But not only that, though, you got to be a very special person to interact with him. Now, the Randy thing,
that was great. They should have kept that going.
But the problem with Bray,
Randy
the biggest problem with Bray is what I see is doesn't work good matches. I can't. He's good power and the theatrics and the oogie boogies. But it's like
he should be that special entity type person, like
he
Goldberg.
Only touch her,
like Goldberg.
Yes, he should be.
Goldberg was wrong.
He should be the guy that set up.
But somebody just
like they do the Y6, and he's just the guy, just kind of like the rocket chair, like he did.
Yeah, and he just kind of has his fun house and whatever, and
then when he got to get up,
and he got to get out his chair,
it means something.
Not to mention, you got that big person that's just like Bobby, just get up there.
Yes.
Bobby just going nuts on Raw. And now you just see him just standing up there just rocking like, now it's my turn to come humble you, like Taker used to be.
Yep.
Like Taker was that guy. He didn't always wrestle, but when Taker came out there, you knew somebody's about to get their ass kicked. When him and Big Show went at it, when him and that was something amazing.
Tell me.
Did anything else happen? I don't remember.
No, that's pretty much. Now you had your segment that you're going to cover. Did you still want to do that?
Well, yeah, I want to give people a good learn of what goes on in my world there.
Please,
please,
people, hit the floor. We're here, and
So this episode is actually entitled Episode 3: The Show's Heel Turn. Mm-hmm. I have every reason in the world to be a bad guy. I have every reason to use drugs. I have every reason to go to jail. I have every reason to be out sticking people up. I don't do it. I've never done a single hard drug in my life. The farthest I've ever went is weed, and I didn't like that. So it's like I want to delve into what life was like before. So it's like, for instance, I was that sweet innocent child, 5, 10 years old. One of my guys, he always tells me, he's like, it's always the one that. It's always the child that was the sweetest, that was the youngest, that was like, the hearted one. That's the one who took everything hardest when they actually started to experience stuff. See, I was really sheltered. I was a person who suffered bullying from the time I was first grade all the way up until college. I was always the skinny guy, I was the freakishly smart guy, but, as you go on, I was kind of like a late bloomer. Didn't really get into girls and all that type of stuff until maybe like high school. But it's like, it's weird because people don't honestly understand what I actually have to go through every day. When they try to tell me, oh, you need to smile more. Sometimes I really do want to ask them, what in the world is that? What reason do I have to smile sometimes? I work in a place and I'm not appreciated. I don't feel appreciated. I'm not. I work in a place that's, it's highly stressful. And I was talking to my cousin earlier about it, and I was like, I told her, you can't really deal with the job that I have to tell. I always call it a madhouse because you never know what you're going to get out of that day. I still feel like I need to put zookeeper on my resume because basically I feel like I work with animals because there are some people who just do stupid stuff every day. It's stressful. The environment can be very toxic. You have just everything. So let's move into this whole thing of like now. It's 2023, and I tell anybody, like I tell tell my co-host, they should be very grateful they're in a relationship in this day and age.
We are very grateful every day.
It sucks trying to date at 32 in the age of 2023. See, me, I have something what I call a wolf in sheep's clothing type of thing. I literally will sit here and say, my life needs to be on TV. It really does. It needs to be a sitcom. The most random stuff happens. One of my guys, like I told you, he tells me all the time he don't even know how I'm still alive. He doesn't know how I'm still not in jail. He doesn't even know how I still function every day. Because if the stuff I tell him, if he even experienced a fraction of that, he would do that. I go places, people try to tear me down all the time. All the time. I get random stuff from women. It's like, imagine going through life never actually feeling wanted by anybody. So let's say my co-host, he's known me good 7 years. He's seen it all. He's seen me go through constant stuff with women. Notably, was talking about one the other day. It was quite the head scratcher. You could visibly see she attracted me, all that good stuff, but she felt the need to want to run me into the ground. We, to this day, can never explain what happened.
It's out of nowhere.
Like literally, we cannot explain to this day what happened. It's her, my first ex. Let's see, I just recently had a girl, and I did want to bring this point up really good. There's a girl who I was friends with. We went to the grammar school together. About 2.5 years ago, we reconnected. We started talking about 2 weeks. We were officially in a relationship for 3 days. After those 3 days, just like that, she disappeared, gone, poof, without a trace. I would see her all the time. Don't know what happened. She wouldn't speak to me. None of that. But she comes back recently, and she says, she saw me she just saw I was dating somebody at the time and all that. So it's crazy. So she started talking about all this relationship stuff and all of that. Now, anybody that's watching this, feel free to give me a comment or anything and tell me if you think this is shady. I talk to you when I'm at work, and then you tell me to call you when I get off. I get off at 10:30. I come home, I call you, no answer. I normally sleep by the time I get up in the morning. I normally sleep by the time she's at work in the morning. So she started work at 6. Now note, the first time we've ever talked, it was about 2 in the morning. We was on the phone to maybe like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. I'm asking you, what's going on all of this. She's talking about a relationship. 2 days later, she's talking about she don't want to move slow again because she's moving too fast and she needs to heal. To me, that sounds like you just got another dude involved and you just don't want to say it. Me, personally, I don't care. I just don't act accordingly. You don't have to lie to me. But she does.
So did you tell her like this?
Yeah, I told her.
You gotta lie.
I purposely waited 3 days. Out of 3 days, you would think I heard from her at least once. Nothing. So I just randomly came to that Saturday and just told her, hey, you ain't got to lie to me. If it's no dude, you tell me right there. She want to come with all this other crap thinking I was just trying to use her. How am I trying to use you? You come with 3 children. You live on the other side of town from me. It's like, I'm already willing to give that a chance. Even then, I'm giving you a second chance, which I rarely ever do. From 2.5 years ago, because I'm thinking maybe she could have changed in 2.5 years. She still got this shady stuff. So randomly Sunday, I'm talking to one of my big brothers, my actual blood brother. And she texted me at 12 a.m. talking about she want to see me. I'm like, want to see you? You want a video chat? No, she wants me to come over. She wants me to drive from my house for about at least 45 minutes to an hour to get to her house at 12 in the morning. What are you just talking about? You were trying to heal emotionally and all of that stuff. So if I'm not mistaken, does that not sound shady to anybody?
Sounds a little sus. Definitely sus.
That sounds weird. It's not like it's during the daytime. She's like, hey, we can go, chill out here, do this, do that. You calling me doing booty call hours. Come on.
12 to about good 3. Yeah, that's what that's about. Those hours indeed.
That's what that's for. And it's like, I can look past certain stuff. My ex had 3 children. Loved them. Like, honestly, I sometimes find myself missing the kids. Do you know what it feels like having three little faces to be happy to see you when they see you? Because a lot of people aren't happy to see me a lot of times. Everywhere I go, I feel like people generally just don't like to see me coming because they can't bully me, they can't push me around, they can't do me this type of way, that type of way. I've had people call me all type of stuff. I'm not gonna get into what they call me, but let's just say, like, I could legally sue them for defamation of character.
Absolutely.
For calling me this stuff, and I've literally tried to be friends with this person multiple times. They told me, "Oh man, watch out for her. Watch out for her." I'm like, you know what? I'm not listening to what everybody. I take into account what they say, but I'm still gonna go get my own interaction with them and turn around just like a snake. You play with a snake, it's gonna bite you.
Yes, every time.
And she bit me real good. Nobody, no, it's like nobody cares about my feelings. Just talking to my co-host the other day. I don't ever remember one of my sisters ever asking me exactly how am I doing. Nobody ever.
That was the question I posed to you.
Nobody ever asked me, why do you act the way you do? Why do you? How do you get this way? They don't even realize it. If anything, my three older siblings use me in a lot of different ways, whether I wanted to or not. I've given up so much of my own life for stuff, and it's like, even now at 32, I still have the same type of issues with women. Can't find a genuine connection. It's like, it's always, we can do this, but it's always a but somewhere in there. It's like, my co-host, we talking. He's, like I said, he's at a loss of words, and I've almost never seen him at a loss of words.
And it's to the point to where most times, like even myself, before I'm in a relationship that I can understand a lot of where you are coming from, what you're doing. Yeah, it's a little serious for a moment. No Lance Storms. I can be serious for a minute. But it's one of the things with me personally is I do understand that part. I was at that, so you just can't get right. Can't it's like you get right there, and some stupid shit happens. So one of the things with me that kind of helped me kind of figure shit out. I Before I met my girl, one of the things I learned out, I had first of all learned how to love. That was number one. That's when I realized I did. Yep. And the reason why I can say I realized I did love me, there were so many things that I didn't have accomplished. Yep. But finding her made me accomplish those things. It's like I feel like in life, in my position, I think it's like you have to get yourself ready for like the title. You feel me? Yeah. Like you got to go through the hardcore title, European title, Intercontinental title. You need to rep those so you can get the main title. My biggest problem when I was going, I wanted to fucking do an Austin Theory and say fuck all the dumb shit. I'm just gonna go straight to there, and then I'll try to fight a main event caliber talent and get my ass humbled faster than you can say fuck. And that was me. So I said, well, okay, I'm fucking what's his name? Who was the chinny chin chin dude they was making fun of? That was with Carmella, the sidekick. I've looked that Braun Strowman almost killed with Adam.
What was that boy's name? Was the one that was married to Dana Brooke?
No, the one that was with Carmella.
Oh, you talking about the other guy?
Yeah.
What was his name?
God, what was his name?
He used to do the No Chin music.
The No Chin, yes, him. What was his name?
No, that was not him.
It's not Raphael.
Who was that guy?
Fuck. So it was
James
Ellsworth.
There it is.
James Ellsworth.
I knew his first name was James.
It was James Ellsworth. Yes. And so I had to go back, get myself together. Meaning, the job I was in at the time gave me a lot of character, gave me that, but I outgrew it. And I realized I outgrew that. Then I went to this spot, conquered that. Went to this spot, conquered that. When I started, basically, I had to get to the point to where I had to develop confidence in myself. I didn't realize how much doubt I had in myself. It's like when I met her, I said, I like her. And at that point, it was like, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I have to do to make sure I get there. And it was a self-motivation factor. I wasn't just this idiot out here just trying to grab things to grab things. It was like whatever that synergy was in that person. And we've all had that, but it's that one that I feel like that tunes you to make you get better. And but when I realized I had to do things with myself, like I was the same like you. And she can tell you, I'll be like, I hate this place. I don't want to say the spot of the name, but for those who know me know the spot I'm talking about.
Same for me.
I said, I hate this spot. I can't stand this spot. It's unfair. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And then she just said, well, why don't you just fucking leave? And then I'll tell you the moment when I knew it was time to go. It was we were at college at the time, and I was at that place, checked my account, and I couldn't even get simple fucking lunch from McDonald's. Couldn't get nothing. Couldn't get her nothing. That moment, I was broken. It was the lowest point that I've ever been. And I looked up and said, I'm quitting that place today. I'm putting my weeks in. And that's that moment to where I said, that's it. I am done. I don't know what the fuck the future is, but it's not here. And when I tell you, James and all the people, that was the greatest decision I've ever made in my life, because then once I turned that off and got rid of it, then I went to this other place that just accepted me, groomed me to the next phase. That's when I started reaching the levels. That's when I was able to grab this, grab that.
I'm there with you.
You know what I'm
saying? I know my job is toxic.
Yeah, and
that's the one of the most toxic places I've ever been.
In that environment, and like I said, it's so much in that.
It drains
you. And it's your chakra, it's your frequency, guys.
It drains you, literally.
And if you're around bad vibes and frequency, I don't care how strong or positive you are, it will lower it.
It will break you.
It will break it, and it will siphon it, because misery loves to siphon good energy. That's how it stays alive. Believe it or not, off the happiness.
Because when it came down to me, when I was getting promoted about 2.5 years ago, roughly, everything was going good. I'm thinking I'm figuring this out. I got the girl. I'm around him. I'm happy. 6 months later, complete turnaround. They applied so much pressure, so much stress to me. It's like I'm losing sleep. Then my ex decided, and I really want to delve into the little bit of how she tortured me for God knows how long. I'll say a better part of a year. She literally broke up with me. To you broke up with me, and the way you did it, you tried not to talk to me. How do you break up with somebody by just stop talking to them completely?
Still have to have communication.
Because to this day, I still cannot tell you exactly what was her purpose of doing that. So maybe about a month later, this is what made me break. I just broke. I was done. I probably was off work for like 4 months, because in the time frame, I don't really talk about me, especially when I'm at work. I was just telling one of my guys that he was like, man, I told him, like, nobody can honestly tell you what I do outside of this place. Nobody can tell you what I do. They don't know if I'm just sitting around. They don't know if I'm outside. They don't know what I'm doing, because that's I just keep it that way. I mean, I don't care what they tell me. That's what they tell me. That's cool. But I sit here and I go through this stuff, and I'm like, I broke. I'm in the hospital. I get out. Like, that experience is just completely crazy. It's like being in a box. Literally, it's like being in jail with no violence. You in a locked facility, trying to prove your medicine, taking your blood, telling you when to sleep and all that other crap. No, not fun. So when I got out, literally, I'm sitting here just trying to figure stuff out. That entire 4 months. What people don't know is, a lot of that time too, I was running my mama back and forth to doctor's appointments. Because I got out that Thursday, that Saturday, my mom's been going through menopause for the past 3 or 4 years. She started bleeding again. We thought she had what's that called? Cervical cancer that runs in my family. My grandma had it. She had a full hysterectomy. My oldest auntie passed away 5 years ago from it. So it's like it was scary.
It was a severe situation that demanded critical attention.
And I had to be there.
You already trying to heal from your
and I couldn't deal with my stuff because I couldn't break down in front of her.
Your focus was on your mother as what a man should do.
She never saw it. She never knew the sheer amount of times I sat in my room and cried for hours because I felt lonely because a woman literally got inside of me and literally just she broke me. How did she break me? After you do all of this, I come to find out that she was literally on the slick side trying to talk to one of my god brothers. I've known this dude for 15, 16 years. And you sitting here trying to talk to him, he told you for the past 14 years he don't like you like that. He already lives 3 hours away. He on his second child. You think I've told you this before we even started dating. You think he gonna leave his family behind to come up here in your waiting arms? You know his child's mother wasn't gonna let none of that go on. Like, that'd be bogus. He wasn't gonna do that to me because, if anything, he's been a real bro. And out of all of that, we had a group text. Because I like, anybody can explain to me, when you break up with somebody, why would you still want to be around them? I don't get it. You treat them differently. You treat them like crap. Every time you try to be yourself, you turning people against them. Everybody jumping to your side. I literally asked her for my 31st birthday, don't show up. Because I've been asking when she coming. She kept saying, I don't know. So I told her. I told her in front of everybody, I don't want you to show up. She said, okay. She showed up anyway. And then had nerve enough to flirt with my brother in front of me. Like I didn't catch that. Everybody knows me. They know I sit back and I watch everything. Sir. I don't say nothing, but that don't mean I didn't see it. I didn't talk to her about it till the next day, and of course, somebody else saved her because they changed the subject trying to defend her. Like, no, she needs to answer for this stuff.
She had no business being.
Not to mention all the flirt.
And especially that was your day. It wasn't like she just popped up on a random Saturday and y'all at the restaurant. Okay, different, total bit. But this was your particular day, and you were not comfortable due to you guys' history and her being there, and that should have been respected. And I just felt like that should have been. I mean, and if she wanted to hang with them after y'all was done, all right, deuces.
But they were already set to do that. So why did you want to come so bad?
Exactly.
And then nobody honestly could figure it out. Then I had to look at the way she was dressed. That day, that Sunday, it was cold and raining all day long. Windy, belly showing, belly ringing, got her hair done, ears done. She got nice little jeans on. I'm like, but I noticed until one of my guys told me, I'm like, she was in here trying to attract something. Now, what she was trying to attract, we don't know. We don't know what her games were. I've told her many times, you need to go seek therapy for whatever it is that you hold it inside. Because for 6 months, she wouldn't let me. I had to beg her to let me help her. I was like, what was we doing? What was we doing? All the time she sat there and she would flirt with my brother in front of me. I'm like,
why y'all were dating?
No, this is after. This is that year after. She was just sitting there flirting with him. Like, she literally stood there when we were together. She stood there in front of me and my mom in my living room and said, you don't have to worry about him. I don't have any more feelings for him. I didn't ask about him. I wasn't thinking about I wasn't even paying no attention about him. He was like, even when we was dating, he didn't talk to her as much because he felt like he didn't need to. She got me, so what does he need to talk to her for?
And not only that, but the biggest thing with that situation she was going through there was also very confusing. And this is not no testament towards you, but I'm like, I know you guys do your threads on the PlayStation and stuff like that, but I thought she was a gamer.
But she's not.
And that's what that was, and remember, when you broke that to me, I said, that's sus right there, because weird. Like, you're just scoping. You're just in people's business. You're not like, I thought y'all talking about the games y'all played, the Call of Duty, because there are girls and stuff that play games and Call of Duties and wrestling stuff like that, but I thought she was one of those. But when you was like, no, she don't play, then I'm like, well, why the hell is she even on the chat then? What are you doing?
And that's like, literally.
That was where I was really confused with, like, well,
and I told you, a lot of people don't know I go through this stuff because I don't really talk about it. And then people always tell me, you should smile. Why do you think I should smile? I mean, I smile when I do try to smile, but it's just like, a lot of times, you don't feel like smiling. Because stuff like that is what makes me not get excited about anything. Because I'm always sitting back thinking, what are you up to? Not to mention, when literally, it's just the stuff of why would you even want to do this to somebody? You sitting on us while we all playing the game and everything. You come in, you just sitting there like a creep. What do you want? Don't you have any female friends? Now, please be honest. I don't care who listens to this. Guess what? I don't give a damn what y'all got to say. This is me. This is what I had to go through, and a lot of people wasn't trying to help me in the process. I had to deal with this on my own. I burned through 13 years worth of emotion in 4 months while dealing with my mom's stuff, while dealing with her crap. And I sat there, I defended her. I even defended her against my co-host and his girlfriend once before. And I feel stupid because I chose love.
Well, let me stop you there. Don't ever say you're stupid.
I felt that.
Don't ever say that you're stupid. Don't ever say that you were wrong. We cannot control emotions. And as a man, you need to understand this. Every decision I make, whether it's good or bad for me, for her, this house or whatever, that's the decision that I made. Now the backlash and stuff. Hey, we'll deal with that afterwards. But I never regret a decision I made. If I made that, that's what I felt was the best decision to make at the time. Now, like you said, we can Monday morning quarterback after it later. And I feel like this is just me. If it's justifiable in your heart, meaning that the intentions are good, it's okay. It'll always work itself out at the end. Even if don't do it right away. It'll work itself out there. Never say you're stupid. Never say you're dumb. That's anybody. Don't ever say that. One of the biggest things we do, we beat the shit out of ourselves too much. Somebody else hurt you, you be like, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it, I'll forgive you. But if you fuck up, you will punish yourself the worst. And we can't punish ourselves for making a mistake. We're human. They just be like, hey man, I was totally understandable. I would have found it weird if you didn't defend. To be honest with you, I would have found it a little weird. But you supposed to. That's your.
And we were broken up still completely, and she was completely terrible to me on most points. And here I am making excuses for you. I'm defending you
because you love her, and that's okay.
And that's the biggest thing.
Okay.
And the problem was, she just never wanted to come out and say it for whatever reason. We don't know what. Like I say, that's another head scratcher.
Yeah,
like, and I can sit here and talk about this, and like my guy always says, I always call him Mojo is what I normally call him because he got the flow. That dude is like, I always consider him an older version of my co-host Steve. Very business oriented. You want to know something about business, money, making money, anything? Go talk to that man. He got the answers for you. And I sat here, and he said, you talk about this stuff like it's so normal. I've had so much crap to deal with normally. It's literally normal for me. Nobody should have to deal with some of the stuff I do. Absolutely. But literally, I sit here and think there's nothing wrong. Like, I could sit here and think that somebody would watch this thing, whatever. And then there could be somebody like him that's like, he literally told me multiple times, if he didn't know me, he would think I was lying.
No, I mean, it's again, if I didn't know you, and if I didn't see some of it, actually, some of those, I saw some of that shit on the ground floor, it'd be unbelievable.
It's just mind blowing.
It's mind blowing, and it's just that I just can't put my finger on it.
It's like,
and it's not just you; it's more people, and there's a lot of people that's watching this and saying like, they feel where you're coming from.
It's just like
they understand it.
And I tell people, I've been to so many parts of Chicago. I've been in many places.
Milwaukee, been out there in Milwaukee.
I've been in Milwaukee. I've been out in. I even tried to talk to a girl who lived in Indianapolis, Indiana. Completely disappeared on. But no, she sought me out and added me on social media. I didn't think nothing of it because when we all hung out, she was hanging out with one of my guys. But then I didn't know. Well, when we came back, she added me on the book. I'm like, okay. Like, what's this about? So we say, what's up? Nothing too major. Talk. And we just sitting there. She's supposed to teach me Spanish. Nice. But then she just disappeared. She just stopped talking to me. Don't know why. Just like that, gone. I don't know what it is. I literally had a girl did that. The only actual person I met on Facebook dating. She liked me. We went back and forth. She lasted a week and a half. Don't know what happened. Me personally, I think she was listening to her friend who's single, looking for something, probably miserable, telling her, hey, now, you got them friends that secretly be jealous. Some of you ladies, I know y'all do.
Guys do it too.
If we do it, we be sitting there hating. I got to touch on some more of that. So it's like, you sitting back hating, and she got mad at me because I don't remember certain issues she was having in her health. And it's like, I just met you.
And it takes time.
Like,
and that's also really sensitive
yes.
to tell what's going on with you at the very beginning. Yeah. Unless it's not something dire. Like, if you go, I can't eat this stuff. Okay, that's different because if you go out, you need to know that. But if you tell me it's critical.
It's like it's something that, because COVID was a big thing back then. Because in 2020, I went through 14 women in 8 months. How do you burn through that? People just look at me like, 14 women in 8 months, from January to August. 14 went right through them. She was one of those 14. Deleted me off everything, got mad. I'm just like, and it's like you make one mistake and they just, I don't want to be bothered. Or they always choose to go to the other guy. Just talked to a recent girl. She proved to me she's a very solid person. She did admit stuff, but it's like she decided to work stuff out with her ex. It's like, they never actually want to take the chance with me. I've been told. My ex that I was just talking about, she sat there and told me that I was too good to be true. Multiple times. I don't know how, because I'm just any average person, what a man should be. I'm 32, I have no children. I don't have the most money, but I ain't out trying to steal nobody's money. I'm still out there making an honest living at a job that I want to quit every day. But you still got to make money. I still got to do what I got to do, and then I have an overbearing uncle who's coming after me about my car. Well, anybody that knows, I had a brand new car. 6 days later, somebody broke all the windows out and completely destroyed my steering column. Why? Don't know. They just did it just because it's the stupid Kia challenge. It cost me $1,000 to have to get it fixed. He gives me the $1,000, and now he wants to call me, and he wants to belittle me all the time. He wants to tell me how I'm doing wrong and I'm not doing enough.
Will he want his money back?
Yeah, he wants his money back, but it's like this. You didn't raise me to take $1,000 from somebody without paying them back. Yeah. But I'm trying to make sure my house is straight before I start giving you your money back. Yeah. So this what was making me really angry. I call him all the time just to see how he doing. I have to call him 5 times in one day just for him to answer or call me back. But now all of a sudden you just calling me out the blue. I ain't never heard from you this much. And then you want to call me, you want already, when I got enough going on, you're sitting here telling me flat out that I'm just basically, I ain't doing shit. Because I don't have enough money. Because he thinks that what makes a man is money. That ain't it. What makes a man is having responsibility and take care of that responsibility.
Character.
Any way you can.
Character in the word.
The next time I talk to him, I'm going to pose him this one question. Like, let's say we have a man. Let's say my co-host is a millionaire. He got 5 kids, but he don't take care of none of them. He's a millionaire, but is he considered a man? Like, no, he's not. To me, he's never going to be considered. He could be broke, and as long as he go take care, as long as he's with his kids, spending time with them, he's doing whatever he got to do. At least he's trying to be in his kids' life. Say, hey, I'm daddy. Like, I'm the only one out of my mother's children who don't have any children. I'm number 4 out of 5. Everybody got at least one child except me. And it's like, my cousin tells me this, and this does really make me very emotional. I'm just controlling it right now because we're on screen and I actually want to talk this stuff through.
That's all good. You doing good.
It's like, literally, my cousins always tell me, you're going to be a great father. But I have to find a woman who just don't disappear on me. They got ghosts. There's only one woman right now who could actually even get money out of me. Outside of my family. She's off doing her thing. She's getting herself together. I couldn't, I can't push her because she's just mentally not ready for it. And I just had something I had to learn to accept. It wasn't like she wasn't trying. She really did show me a lot of things in 1 year. She made progression. She tried. We talked more. She got better in who she was. Now she's off trying to get herself together. I had to do it. But it's like you look for a genuine connection with the opposite sex outside of your family. And it's just like, it's non-existent. I'm 32. I have no children. I have my own car. I'm like a roommate to my mom. This ain't she tells me what to do and all this other stuff. No. We go half on everything. I make sure she's straight. She makes sure I'm straight. She does no heavy lifting in there like I'm the gentleman type. Also, everybody knows when I'm at work, I'm like Big Brother. So that means if something go on, all the women already know. Something goes on, come find me. But they know I'm not going to accept none of it. You getting harassed by somebody in here doing it, I don't care. You can get out of my store with that crap. Because now your problem is with me. And it's just like, I don't expect everybody to think like that. But I was like, if I could get a few more people to think like me and just shift them out. But that's who I am. That's built into me. That's who I am.
Those are values. Those are who you are. That's nothing that should ever be changed or questioned.
Like, I love my older brother, but a lot of times what I'm doing, he should do because he's the oldest male out of the group. He's the middle child, but we're polar opposites. I'm more in your face, more confrontational. He's more laid back. Nothing wrong with him being a laid back person. The only thing is, he will stand up for himself when he has to. I just want to see him do it just a bit more. That's just me. He can be his own man. You can be a man in many ways. Like I was explaining, we talked about bro code before.
Yes.
I actually took time out to actually delete people on my Facebook that I know, because I'm a person, when you break that bro code.
And then you do it, but see, you know what you just did? That's the first step in self-preservation and self-improvement. You have to get rid of garbage.
And I had to drop
garbage in, garbage out. So when you start clearing the field, then you start seeing the people who actually give a fuck. So that's why you said you can't, as you get older, look at it like this. When you're a kid, you have much friends. All friends, circles huge. But as you get older, it gets smaller, look smaller. Then, this person I thought would never betray me, betrayed me. Oh, this person I thought was cool ain't shit. Oh, this person was always against me. Wow. Yep. You start, but that's the perception to where you start getting there. Like I said, dude, there's like, besides you and my other friend, maybe 2, 3 more people that I feel like if I was truly in trouble, they got me. That's maybe about 3 people.
I only have a handful.
Not counting Jazz.
3 people. That's me. It's only
like 3 people. Mine's not even a hand. It's 3 people.
And the honest part is, honestly, if I was really going through something, my sisters are 50-50. I wouldn't even know if they would even help me. Now, my brother, he probably actually would, depending on what's going on. If he can, he will. I know my mama gonna always help.
My mom do.
Like I always tell people, if you got a good relationship with your mama, keep it. Because she always gonna be the realest person on your team.
And not only that, women should jump upstairs if a man take care of his woman, because that means he gonna take care of you.
I keep trying to explain to women that it's like
that's a guarantee.
I had a woman literally try to play in front of me, telling me I could never date a mama's boy because she around everybody else. I was like, see, there's a difference. There's a mama's boy, and then there's a mama's man.
Mama boy the mama take care of him, and a man who respects his mother will take care of his mother.
I was the mama's boy. I was always under my mama. That's just who I was. I don't take any features from my father. I don't have his height. I don't have his looks. I don't have any of his features. It's literally like my father doesn't exist. A lot of people don't know this, but I don't know who my father is. I've never seen him. I don't know what he looks like. I just know he's short and I know his name. I found out now he comes from Detroit. I tried to find him in the past 2 years. He pretend like he don't even know who I am. So I started off coming into life being abandoned, feeling that abandonment. People don't realize that stuff really does curse you.
It does.
It curses you from the inside. You know what it was like growing up, seeing one of my guys perfectly. His mom had passed away, which I still feel dearly sorry to him. But he had his father, he had his uncles, he had his brothers.
He had some extra things.
Yeah, he had that, that strongness. I was envious of that all the time. It's like I always wanted a younger brother. I didn't get one. I got a younger sister. No big deal with that, but I actually did get one in my nephew. I got my younger brother. Yeah. I got my prodigal son.
Y'all got a good.
Yeah, like literally, if we both need something, we know who to call. If I need money, I need anything, I go to my nephew. If he got it, he'll tell me. And if he don't got it, he gonna tell me. And I tell him, thanks. Anyway, you don't have to help me. You don't have to do anything.
And I'm pretty sure if he needs you, it's the same way on the other end.
But he doesn't call me. I taught him to be independent. That's what I taught him. Go out there, do what you gotta do, make your money. whatever it is, and he literally out there handling his business. He go to work, he do his thing, he ain't running around making 1,000 kids, he ain't doing none of that. Because that's what my uncle used to tell me growing up. He used to tell me, I want to make you a man before you become a father. And that's what's wrong with a lot of men in this day and age. They're becoming fathers before they actually becoming men. That's deep. And that is terrible. And I literally sit back like, I would love to have children. I would love one day to be able to go to my son's daughter's games or whatever activities they're into. I would love somebody to say, you know what? I'm proud that James is my father. Yeah. That's my daddy. He gonna protect me. I watch so many shows and I look at this stuff and it's like you got dudes that be just acting a fool. You got this girl that loves you, but you want to cheat on her. You want to do dumb stuff all the time.
And it's the other way too.
And it's like,
the women do it too. I've seen like, got good guys
and he's like, what am I doing wrong?
It's unfortunately, it's nothing that you're doing wrong. It's just that the world is that fucked up and confused. And what's going to happen is that you're going to you're going to upgrade yourself. And we've talked off camera the things we got to get you going. That is my mission for you this year. Is to get you in a place, an environment, whether we find you working from home or wherever we go.
That's the goal.
We're going to make this happen. And one of the things I'm going to tell you, I can't guarantee all the ladies and stuff like that relationship, but what I can guarantee you, the second you get out of that place and get to an environment that's yours where you deserve and to understand true appreciation. I didn't learn appreciation from outside like family to when I got out of that place and went to the job to where my manager, who I'm friends with to this day and who is one of those people that I feel like I can call right now and he will answer, literally said, dude, I see so much potential in you and I'm going to pull it out. And within a year of time, I was managing that fucking store. After 8 years being at a spot to where they put in a mental mind space that this is all you can be, this guy had me for 5 minutes and said, oh no, and I'll be like, well, I don't know. He's like, oh no, you're gonna.
I've had that.
You're like, oh, you're going to do it.
I've had managers tell me.
You're going to do it. It's not
even when I was a security officer, I had managers tell me, like, one of them, to love this dude. Big white guy used to love him. He was like one of the coolest guys you would ever meet. He knows exactly who he is, if he's still alive, if he's still going on. I don't know. I haven't seen the man in 7 years. When I saw him, it was always to a point where he literally says, he was like, he talked to me one time and he was like, I got to hire him. Instantly. He didn't no thought about it. He was like, I got to hire him. Every time. We wound up leaving our first job. And I didn't even know the next job I applied to, he was already in that job and pulled me over to his site. He wanted to make me a lead officer, but the people upstairs decided, no, he got to hire from the outside. I'm like, hire from the outside. But see, I had to think about it. They didn't like me. Reason why? I talked to the owner's wife, because I still don't know to this day what that man looks like. I talked to his wife. She was the one that interviewed me. And I let her know, you're not going to sit here and talk to me any type of way. You grown, I'm grown. I respect you. You respect me. That's just it. When they know they can't push you around, they don't like you. They hate you. They want to manipulate you. And people know they can't do that. But it's like, D, I don't know if you have experienced this. Have you experienced women that like you, know they do, but for some reason they just too afraid to admit it?
Yeah, and then what I do typically with people like that back in the day, I say, okay, no, and I go get somebody else.
And that's the whole thing. That is the story of my life.
And I don't get energy towards that because to me it's like what I learned is life is too short to live on what is.
It is, and that's the whole thing.
And I'm like this: if you want to do something you want to do, go for it. At least try. And that's me. I have to try it. If it scratches that part of that head, and I'm like, you know what? I gotta try it. Like I'll put you like this. With my girlfriend, there was 101 reasons not to pursue it. 101 reasons. Distance, this, that.
And that's always.
I'm with my grandma. What can I do? You know, everybody knocking on the door, doing this, doing that. No true privacy. My job sucks.
I tell a friend that every time.
Didn't have my license. It was 1,001 reasons.
And you say, you know what?
Never been out that far. Solo.
And you just take a chance and say, you know what?
And I just said, you know what?
Go for it.
I said, this is something to say and go.
And I do it all the time.
And I said, fuck it.
And what cracks me up, I literally have to sit around and laugh because a lot of times for me, it don't pay off.
And I said, fuck it. I'm going to go. Got lost like twice. She'll tell you. Got lost twice.
And I can tell you that that area was not easy to navigate.
And it was still early. And I was for a second, for a microsecond, you know, I'm like, fuck this. I don't know where I'm at. I'm going home. But then the bus driver looked at me and said, where are you trying to be? And if I ever find that guy again, because he was so nice, he was like, I said, I'm trying to get to Sibley. And I rode the 352 too far.
Yep, you
went and he's like, look, stay on for the show you where to go. So he's like, okay, here, get off here. The 350 starts.
I used to catch that bus a lot, so I know.
So I'm like, okay. So the information I only knew was McDonald's. So I saw McDonald's. I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm going for it. So I'm sitting in there, hit her up. You know, she's like, cool. I'm on my way. And I'm still sitting there like, what the fuck am I doing? I know nothing. I know none of these people. I don't even know if she's going to come. Is that her on the picture? You know, it's all of this shit running through your mind.
You think of all of it.
Yeah, all of this shit.
And I always think that one time you take a chance, you're like, it just might work.
It just might work. But this time I was every universal thing was like, yeah. You know, like this.
And it literally.
And again, I broke completely the fuck out of my comfort. I shattered that dimensions of it. Now again, when we talked, me and her did not happen right away. See, that's what a lot of people don't remember. It did not happen right away.
And it was like sometimes you need persistence.
Yeah, it is more of when you understand, and that was the moment when I learned. I'm like, when we didn't go right away, but we still talked, and then we realized how much shit we liked. We became really cool ass friends that eventually led into 11 years later what you see now.
Let's see.
And that was one of the things that I used to do terribly. I used to go, again, straight for
the gusto.
The gusto. Oh, okay, I need to do that. I need to be this and be that, but not realizing that, holy shit, you know, if we do work out, I have to be able to actually hold a conversation.
And
I've had friends that been in a relationship 8 years.
And they can't talk.
No, it's over, and then they realize, like, no, I don't even know why I have nothing in common with
literally. That's exactly.
Like, how do you stay that long and you don't realize there's nothing? There's nothing.
Literally. There were so many women I'll talk to. They just don't. They don't know how to hold a conversation. I'm like, because I was telling one of my brothers earlier, like maybe I think yesterday, I was telling them they don't know how much. There were women I talked to and I never said anything about them because it didn't go anywhere. I get a lot of women's phone numbers, which is new for me, but it's like something now I'm changing up to be more aggressive, which I don't normally do, but it's like, so I'm going to give it to you just to literally not respond to you. It's like, we grown now. We don't have time for them games no more. If you don't want to be bothered, just say that. And there are a few that I've talked to that say, hey, you know, I got this going on. I'm trying to figure this out. I can respect that. We move along, call it a day. I still see them. We still say hi to each other, ask how each other's doing. Cool. I just know they still sit on the back of that table for me just in case something go wrong. But we're not hurting each other.
Exactly.
She's not hurting me. Not hurting me.
Respect being
there. That's fine. The chick I was just saying she wanted to work it out with her ex. That's how she came out to it. My cousin asked me, she was already messing with somebody. Is that a red flag? I'm like, no. When you talk to somebody, you truly don't know what they're doing. You don't know who they talking to. You don't know who they with. You don't know what they're involved with.
And that's where you have to rely on. That is honestly, and I feel like too when you meet somebody, especially the first time you're interested. Like if you're in the dating phase, if you're not exclusive with the person, I feel like it's totally in. So like again, when we met, you know what I'm saying? You talk, you do your thing. But like you said, you still kind of keeping your eyes open because you don't know what this is. But if it starts, growing, you kind of put more and more of your attention on there. But I feel like the problem is now is people are so initially afraid to be alone that they're not taking the time making sure they're okay and ready. Sometimes you have to learn to be alone to get yourself to a level to where it's like, oh, I'm cold in this. I'm cold.
And there's a lot of people that don't understand that.
I'm cold.
Like for me, I've just understood in the past 2 years how much I actually have. How much energy I have, how much energy I can control, how I can control and command energy as I wanted to. But it's like I got all of these skills and I just can't seem to figure out why the hell I'm literally I look at people think there are people who think I'm arrogant. I'm not by any means. I'm confident because I used to be not confident. I used to be a person because D can tell you, Jazz can tell you, when they first met me, I wasn't half the person I am now. I was still getting off with dealing with my first ex. It was terrible. The way she destroyed me was like something completely different. That's a whole nother story. Where I had to actually come into contact that she actually verbally was abusive to me. I didn't think about it, but she really was. What it was like always being called ugly growing up, and like what do you do?
A lot of insensitive
things. And they were not shy about it. They called you ugly in every way possible. They always talking about you, and girls had fun. Bro. When it came to me, they had fun. It was like I never knew. I don't even know how to seal the deal. I don't know how to get them there, and it's like I don't even know when a woman's truly interested anymore. I just feel like now every time they come up to me, it's just like what Major Payne said. You plotting on me? That's all I think about. What's your angle? What do you plot? What do you want? Because I ain't got it for you. I don't know what to do anymore. I have to sit back. I can't even enjoy getting to know somebody without constantly thinking, what are you up to?
It's a matter of time.
It's just like what BS is going to stir up. Because it literally looks like a perfect thing. It's like everything is just going on. This girl was just talking about that was being shady. She talking about she had a surgery. I'm guessing she had a tubes tied possibly. But now you're talking about you gonna work on getting me my first child. Oh, now something don't sound right. If we get that serious, see, you talking too much good up front already. Something a lot of people don't know. My last ex I was telling y'all about, she literally sat here and told me that she was ready to have my first child. A lot of people do not know that because I didn't tell them because she didn't want me to tell anybody. But now it's like, how do you think that would make somebody feel? And then you just change up on them and say, to hell with them. I don't want to be with them. Like how? Like, I can sit here and say that normal. There's probably somebody looking at this, or will be looking at this, that's going to say, how do you treat somebody like that? Exactly. And anybody knows me personally knows exactly who she is. They know exactly what she looks like. I've had people who literally wanted to fight her, who aren't normally fighters. Literally, they told me they wanted to beat up just because of what she was. I spent a lot of that time of people constantly trying to be around, getting me to be around her. I don't want it. I done got in arguments with all my brothers to a point. This time last year, I took a break from my entire group. My entire brotherhood. I didn't talk to too much anybody. Because I felt like a lot of times, the way they made it seem is they'd rather be bothered with her than me. And it's like, that's pretty messed up. Because she ain't nobody. I still to this day think two and want her, but that's just me. I mean, like I said, she's not an ugly girl. She just isn't. She isn't grown up yet. She's a grown woman, and she's a little girl in a grown woman's body. She just ain't got there yet. Children love me to death, and you broke that bond too. So you just didn't break the bond of me and you. You broke that bond too.
That's why, and I think we're gonna definitely part through this
because definitely we need to get more.
Because this is really good. But I'm gonna end on this note, mine. I really think I've always said this, and my friends, you have to be careful if you have children, especially young children.
Because they get attached very easily.
Yes, and
if they like the person.
And being from a single mom, there was many of her people that she dated that had a very great positive influence on made me the guy that I am today. And there's a couple of them that I did attach to.
And there was only one of them that we did. Now we still talk to him to this day.
So that's one that I do.
That's one. We still talk to him. He still calls us his kids.
Yeah.
He's really nice, and that's just who he is. We call him. If anything, if you call him and you need him, he will come.
Like I said, I have my father. I love my father. He's my best friend. But the other guy was just as important to me.
And I
respect that. But my point being is, you have to be careful. Kids get attached to you. Take them away, and you're like, what the hell happened?
And then the kids started acting up when I was gone. It's like they missed me. Because the oldest, he was always trying to latch on to somebody because his father wasn't around. So,
and especially boys.
And then he saw me. He was like,
strong and confident. So that's why
I tell people, I don't have kids of my own, but I know children. I have 8 nieces and nephews.
Exactly.
All I've done is watch kids, grow up with kids.
And raise them.
I've practically raised 3 of them. It's like I've always been around children.
Oh my God.
And the kid, like my little niece, my little sister's baby, that girl will run up to me and she won't even let me take my coat off when she come running up to me.
That's mine.
She'll run right up to me and she'll hug and she's a little character.
Called already.
She's a little character. But she will come.
Yes. So, she will make sure she see her. So I just want to just say that note. I am Diesel as always.
I'm James the Show.
Thank you for watching.
That was a part 1 of what truly goes on in me. I hope it helps somebody. I don't know. Maybe some of y'all got some single friends out there that's looking for a guy like me. I don't know. You might not. But we're gonna end it here. We're gonna probably pick this up on next time on episode 4. But this is the show's heel turn. So if you see me acting bad, those white wings are turning black right now.
7.
Yeah, they turn black. So if you see me doing some stuff that's not normally me, just know it happened. So see you guys later. Hope you guys enjoy.
Deuces.